The Mandalorian and Grogu travel to an ancient site. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing Episode 6, The Tragedy. We open up with Din saying Grogu a couple of times, and he's delighted at how Grogu's responding to his name. So he's digging Grogu's name because he's cracking up laughing as he says it. And then he takes the little metal ball that Grogu plays with away from him, and he has him use the force to take it out of his hand. And of course, he's like, "Oh, you're doing a good job. We need to get a master now to, train you." And after they land, Din takes Grogu for a jetpack ride up to the top of the hill where he places him on the Seeing Stone. And of course, nothing happens at first, and Din starts looking around, and he ends up seeing a ship in the distance. It's a familiar ship too that is about to land, and we get to see Boba Fett's ship. So I thought that was really awesome that we get to see Boba Fett in this episode, and we get to see his ship from Empire Strikes Back, and was it Return of the Jedi? No, I believe it was just Empire Strikes Back. And of course, Din decides they're better off running, so he goes to grab Grogu, and Grogu's surrounded by the Force as he's on top of this rock. He's basically meditating and reaching out. And Din can't get him out, of course. He tries multiple times. So Din decides to confront Boba Fett. And as they're talking, Boba Fett says that he wants the armor that Din received from the Marshal in the episode 1 of this season. And, he says it's his armor. And of course, Din doesn't believe him. And they all start putting their weapons down because Boba Fett says he has a sharpshooter with a gun aimed at Grogu. So he wants to talk. They put their weapons down. Din takes off his backpack. And, of course, the sharpshooter is Fennis Shand, who's played by Ming-Na Wen, from Season 1. So that I thought was really cool as they bring her back. And Din ends up asking Boba Fett if he's a Mandalorian. And Boba Fett responds with, "I'm a simple man making my way through the galaxy like my father before me." Now, that I thought was probably the best line in the entire episode. This is a great throwback to the original trilogy. This is something I actually really thought was cool for this. And, as they're talking, two shuttles, of course, filled with stormtroopers land and start attacking them. And these guys are well-armed stormtroopers who actually have a semi-decent plan. And this is where we get a awesome action scene. This is a really believable battle, and it's smartly choreographed too. I thought this was really well done, and we finally get to see why Boba Fett is the most feared bounty hunter in the entire galaxy. I mean, even Din can't compare to how awesome Boba Fett is. And so, we get to see Boba Fett use the long spear. It's like one of the Sand People's spears. And he's hitting the troopers with such force that their armor is just shattering all over the place. I mean, I thought it was like awesome, the effects that they did for this, especially in the battle scenes. And of course he sees an opportunity to take back his armor from Din's ship, so he does. And when he does, I mean, yeah, we do. We get to see him take stormtroopers down like they were nothing. He even has the rockets that Din has on his arm. He has them in his leg. So we get to see that. And I thought that was awesome that each Mandalorian has their own style of fighting and their own style, to their armor. Where like the rockets are placed, things like that. So I thought that was, dude, awesome. It was just amazing to see him, step right out and show why he's that feared of a bounty hunter. And that's what I think this episode was to bring his reputation up from the Return of the Jedi. And then after the battle, of course, we end up seeing a a laser from, you know, from orbit just completely come down and destroy the Razor Crest. I was just like, wow, they just destroyed his ship completely after they fixed it. I was like, dude, that's awesome. I cracked up. I was like, dude, that's amazing. And the only thing that was left was the Beskar spear. So I was like, dude, that spear is awesome, dude. Beskar is like great. I want some Beskar armor now, you know. I mean, who wouldn't, right? And we really get to see, you know, in this too, we get to see 4 Dark Troopers. So that was hinted at a couple of episodes ago. You know, we get to see 4 of them come down, and they snatch up Grogu and take off, and nobody can get up there to save Grogu by the time they get him. So I thought that was really good too. And then we get to see Boba Fett, you know, explain why the armor belongs to him, and he shows him Din why it belongs to him. So Din is like, well, you know, our deal is done. You know, the Empire's got the kid now, and Boba Fett says, no, our deal isn't done. I told you that I would ensure your safety and the child's safety, and you know, so our deal isn't concluded. And he takes Din back to what planet is it? Navarro, where Cara Dune is, because he needs help tracking down Mayfield, because he needs to infiltrate the Empire to get Grogu back. And we end the episode on watching Grogu throw a couple of stormtroopers around his cell. You can hear him screaming, and Moff Gideon is walking in, and he's just like, no, I want to watch this. And he's just throwing them all over the place. And this is where we get Moff Gideon is just taunting Baby Yoda. And we end the whole episode with Grogu, you know, in shackles. So this episode was probably one of my favorites. Like last episode and this episode, I think were my favorite episodes. This one was an amazing episode because of Boba Fett alone. The effects were great in this. The acting, again, was great. The whole action sequence in this was very believable. I would give this a 8 out of 10, 9 easily. 9, yeah, 8.5, 9 out of 10. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. And please let me know what you thought of this and what you thought of the episode. You know, leave a comment down below. Take care for now, everybody.